I'm back with Stein. We're going to do more rope work. Now, the reason I'm doing so much rope work right now is I want to get him comfortable with some movement around him, which he's been pretty nervous about in the past. And that way I can start other parts of the training. He leaned away just a tad, so I'm just going to step away. It is so windy out today, guys. I hope my microphone does a good job. There, we got that curiosity. He just turned. So the wind could make him feel a little vulnerable out here. Hi, you. All right, so let's see about this. I'm always trying to make sure my feet are not where they're going to get stomped on if he moves quick. So let's see about turning his head towards me. That's something we want to start to incorporate, is having him tilt his head more and more over. There you go. Let's see about tilting his head. There, good boy. All right, now we're going to go ahead and just review a little bit. And because he's good with all of this target training stuff, the review will be a little less than normal. Hopefully the bees stay away on the count of how windy it is. Neck. He loves this one. Neck. Feet. There, he took a step over to reach my hand. Butt. Butt. Try not to move my hand and let him come to me. Butt. Feet. Here, he shifted his weight. Hopefully you can see that in the camera. Here you go, buddy. He just blew a little bit. Neck. My hand's kind of far away, so he's going to have to take more than one step or really reach. Neck. He's almost there, but I'm waiting for him to come. Neck. Feet. There, he did it 2 steps to get over to my hand. Butt. Sorry guys, I see the camera really moving, and like I said, it's really windy. Butt. He has slobber on the side of him. Must be from Frank. Butt. Feet. There, he did it. Nice work, buddy. Yeah. Okay, now let's get farther away so people can see your feet. That's right. It's really windy out, and I'm going to try to do his feet again. I'm thinking that there's going to be not so many bugs, no bees on his legs. Come on. Come on. There we go. Good boy. Come on. There you go. Good job. You ready? See him flinch there? That wind is making him feel a little bit nervous. Foot. Feet. I've been petting his butt and his leg, his back leg, through the fence more lately. Foot. Feet. Oh, good job. That was nice and calm. You guys remember some of the previous videos, he would get a little cow kicky, or He would pick up his foot really fast. Again, that stuff comes from his nerves. As he's more calm and not nervous, he will do all of this with less reaction. Do you have a bee on you? I don't see it. Come on. Come on. There you go. You know, I want you more turned. Let's work on this, huh? Come on. Come on. I released, but I shouldn't have released right there. Come on. A little bit more. We're almost exactly where I want you. Come on. Take another step, buddy. Good boy. Come on. You're a little stuck in the mud today. Oh, there. Good. Good. Now I want you to turn. Good boy. Are you a little stuck in the mud? All right. Foot. Feet. Good boy. Ready? Foot. Foot. Feet. Oh, that was cow kicky. No cow kickiness. Feet. Oh, that was good one. I love how he came around. He got a little cow kicky, and then I waited and he did it right. That's super awesome. Now we're going to work with the ropes again. Can you believe it's already been almost 8 minutes? All right, now Paul's coming in with Doc so he can work with Doc at the same time. So there's an oat bag in the training bucket. And I think it would be great if you worked on just getting him to pick up his feet, standing still. If you get nervous with it or uncomfortable, then we'll switch and I'll do it, okay?
All right. My donkey stopped trying to eat your oats.
Okay, so now I'm just going to throw the rope around him. It's really good. He's not reacting. Throw it this way. You'll get it. Just look at where I tied it at. Oh, sorry.
Luckily, I was paying attention a little bit.
Yeah. Come on. You know, I throw in the rope a bunch of times and I'm not sure if he reacted from the rope or something else. But I'm glad he didn't get away. So I want you to get like back over there so that you're in the camera, okay?
Yeah, and I already did one of the feet too.
Why are you reactive right now, huh?
Because there's a person in here.
It could just be, yeah, the extra stimulation of having another person in here could be all that it takes for him to become more reactive. It makes me happy that we're able to have two people in here at the same time. Come on. Gotta make sure that Paul's in the camera. He is in the camera back there. Good. Okay. Now I'm going to work on putting the rope on him and around his legs. Okay, are you ready? See him flinch there? We're just looking for him to not care about this. His head's a little bit high. His neck is not really tight. I don't see the creases there. Yeah, face that way. He's really good with his feet. But I notice when I'm working on it by myself, he walks away a lot. So just if he starts to walk away, just put him back into position. Even if you're just getting him to bounce or wiggle and jiggle, as we call it, whatever you're comfortable with, Paul. Now, these guys have not been trimmed by the farrier yet. Very good job, Paul. Stein's getting close to, or pardon me, not Stein. Doc is getting close to being ready. Look at how his head went down. We're going to stop and give him a break. But Doc is getting close to being ready and getting him so that he's willing to stand still while people are working with his feet by themselves. That's a big deal. Waiting for Stein to lick and chew now. Ooh, he just blew and he's licking and chewing. No drooling. Do you guys remember when he had to drool before he licked and chewed? This is great. There's so much stimulation today with the wind. Paul's down here with Doc goofing around. That's good. Goofing around, that's good. That stuff is needed too, guys, not just the serious training.
Got a little antsy and he almost kicked, so it took away his foot. Like, we're just gonna redo this.
Did he almost kick or did he just take away his foot?
He flipped back a little bit.
Okay. I'll watch this time.
So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna re-pick up his foot and do it again.
Remember, all of this is just them being nervous, or if you're nervous or grumpy, all of that affects this stuff. So have good thoughts. Okay, put it back down. If you're nervous, just get in and out, right? In and out, especially if you're nervous. You're going to feel confident because you guys have a history together of what's happening. That confidence is built between both of you. It's not just one. Remember, they're still trying to make sure that we're not going to eat them. Paul wants to make sure he's not going to get kicked. You're doing good with that. Now let's have it kind of wrap around his leg a little bit. So we're starting with just lightly throwing the rope around them, and then later on we can add, more dramatic stuff. We just kind of want to keep building to everything that we're doing. Now he's a bunny rabbit. There we go. Good job, Stein. This black rope that I'm holding is a 12-foot long rope. And it is nice sometimes if you have an animal that's kind of pulley, but it also gets kind of cumbersome. So I prefer a 10-foot rope. Whoops. I'm going to change this. I'm not trying to I felt like it hit him harder than I wanted it to. I want it just to kind of bounce onto him. Letting it fall down is good. Oh, good job. He's kind of looking at it on his other side of his body there. Hi, you. Come on over. Come on over. Okay, I'm watching right now. Okay, so remember when you go to pick up their foot, if they're stiff, it's not time to pick up their foot. You're looking for their leg to be limp like a spaghetti noodle. And when they're limp like a spaghetti noodle, you know it's okay they're kind of like giving you an invitation to pick up their foot. But when their leg is stiff and rigid, they're saying that they're a little bit nervous. Now, whether they're just being silly because they're a donkey or young, or they're actually nervous or they're naughty, all of it I would handle the same way. He's stiff, I would just give it right back. And you can still reward that because now you gave his foot back before he reacted. You said, "Oh, look, I noticed that your leg's kind of stiff. You must be feeling a little nervous. Let me give that back to you."
Okay. He can do his own feet, right? With this?
Yep, yep. All right, let's go to your other side. Oh my gosh, it's already been 15 minutes. Come on. All right, so now I'm going to go to the other side, and it's going to be the same stuff. Getting this around his legs, get him really good and used to all of this movement around him. We're going to appreciate that when it's time to pick up his legs. My husband, Dan, he calls pardon me, he calls the horses I can't talk. Okay, Dan calls the horses donkeys on crack because they move so much faster. Good boy. He's just kind of hanging out. He doesn't seem too nervous. His head could be lower, but it's doing good. Wiggling and jiggling, that's good. Build up confidence on both sides. It's yourself and your animal that you're working with. Good job, Paul. And he's standing still. That's what we've been working on lately with Doc, is just getting him to stand still. See him flinch there. So I'm not trying to scare him. Just want him to get used to these ropes going all around. Sure are pretty. That mane blowing in the wind. How about asking him to back up, thumbs down method? He gets kind of bracy, so you just gotta wait for it, okay? Be patient. Okay, he's doing really good with the rope. Now I'm gonna try petting him just with the flag here. I don't want him to be afraid of this. It's just an extension of my arms. Now, right now, I'm not sure if you can see his eyes from the tape, like they got really big. He was really pretty nervous. I want him to think that this flag is just a great way to keep the flies off from him. The best use for a flag, to keep the flies off from them. Okay, he got nervous, I can just back up. I want to get out of there before he actually moves. Now I need him to get used to this for the next part of the training that I want to do with him. Obviously we got to work with his feet, and that's coming. We're getting him nice and comfortable with all that movement around his feet and picking him up. When I start with his feet, I'll probably have Dan help me. Right now, he and Frankenstein are about the same spot for their feet, although Dan is holding Frank's feet for just a split second now. Okay, so I want him, when he sees the flag, to think, wow, I love the flag. It does a great job of keeping the flies off from me. And then later on, my intention will say, because of this flag, I want you to move. It's just an extension. Read my body language. So the best use for a flag, guys, Getting the flies off of them. Now they have a blind spot right underneath their chin here. So you got to be ready for that. Remember, donkeys can see almost the entire way around them. I think they got just a little tiny area right behind their rear, little tiny area, and a little tiny area underneath their chin that they can't see. There, he came towards me. He's licking and chewing. He's starting to come down so much faster than he used to. When I first started, standing next to him so he could come down, it would take him 10 minutes easily before he would drool so he could lick and chew. And now he turned, he got scared, turned, pulled a little bit, and then right away started to lick and chew. Now, I don't want to leave him at that spot because he's going to remember how he felt when we ended our session. So I want to go ahead and pet him with the flag more. He gets really bracy. He's a very pushy donkey. Okay, he's in the camera, so we're going to go back to petting him. Now that was my fault. Probably I was. I'm not going to get run over by you though. I was in his blind spot when he got scared. I think. There, see, this is not a big deal. Right now, it would be great if he kind of lowered his head or took a breath or did something. Now, I might not be able to wait that long. We'll see. I don't want to push him over the top where he feels like he's got to go. So I'm just petting him, using my flag to keep the flies off of him. Now his foot is cocked. Do you see his back left foot is cocked? But then see where his neck is, how high his head is. His eyes, they're not super cowy. I would say he's starting to feel relaxed. He has there, look at how he just stood easier. Okay, he's standing still. I'm just going to reward that now. Keep at it. Don't stop. Paul's over there panting. Like, this is hard work. Keep going, keep going. You're there. Release. Give them a long break. Okay, when it takes a long time for them to get something, a longer break. Doc says that was really hard, so he needs a long break to help him. So what I'm going to start doing with the flag once I feel pretty confident that he's not terrified of it is start having him clear the front. Where that's going to be, I'm going to put my lead rope where I want his foot to go, and let's say I want his front left foot to move, I would want it to come up and then go back. So I want him to kind of get back on his haunches, pick his foot up and go back. But I need my flag to help encourage that movement if he doesn't understand, and I wouldn't expect him to since we haven't done it yet. So it's going to be important that he's not terrified of my flag. His head just went down a tad. He's blinking. He looks pretty relaxed about this right now. Sometimes I count it and sometimes I don't. So you have to go with a feel. Remember, we're always just looking for them to get better at things. And now he's coming back into your space, so that's going to be where you would need to move him out. Use the thumb down method.
Oh, okay. Not this side. This is the side.
There, he did it. He did it. Remember every step, and I'm releasing the pressure when they take a step back with their hind leg. Now look at how low Stein's head is getting. I would say I'll be leaving him in a pretty good, feel-good spot. I like it. I hope this is helpful with you guys with your own training journey, or you just get a enjoyment from watching. Appreciate you watching, and please do hit that like and subscribe button. See you next time. His leg. This is Wild Mustang Stein, and he's just getting used to us petting down his legs, and we're using the fence, and he does not care. I love it. Hello, we're back with Stein for another training session. We're going to keep doing the same stuff. Review with his feet. Do more rope work. I've been in here cleaning the pen, and then he's like, well, you've been ignoring me. Took me a minute to get him over here. You ready? You see how he's leaning into me there? He says he's ready. That leaning into me is like an invite. And we want that invite so we know he's going to stick with us, that he's ready. Now we're going to start asking for him to turn his head a tad. We're going to keep working on that, getting better and better. Oh, good job. Wow, good boy. All right. All right. So I'm going to stand here with my arm out, neck. We'll see if he'll step over here for it. I think this is his favorite one. He's on his way. Deet. Good job. Good job. All right. And we'll see how much he'll walk for his butt. 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 Yep, I want your butt. He's trying to figure it out. I haven't asked him to take this many steps doing it before, so this part is new. But are you confused? Are you confused? Come on. Take another step forward. There you go. All right. Do it again. But Deet, good boy. That was really good. That could come in handy later on to get him to come up to a fence. That'd be cool. All right, neck. Deet. His butt's still in the camera. Perfect. Butt. So I'm making him work a little bit more for it. He's good at these, so now I'm asking a little bit more. We're always going to just kind of increase what we're asking over time. He's trying to figure out how to get his butt over here. Deet, good job. How fun is that? I really do think, oh my gosh, like our guess, and we don't know for sure, but our guess from measuring his knee down to his where his hairline meets his hoof is that he's going to be 16 hands. Now that's based on what we've learned that you can measure there to determine their height as an adult. So we'll see. But if he is going to be a 16-hand horse, that sure would be nice to have him be able to come pick you up off the fence. Okay, let's get you farther away so we can do your feet. There's no bees out right now, you guys. Yay, because there's been so many bees. Come on. Come on. Nose. Feet. All right, now I think your feet are in the camera pretty well for this. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? I'm just going to touch them here, just touching them and petting them. Foot. Now he's got to touch his knee to my hand. Foot. Feet. Oh my gosh. I hope that showed up in the camera. That was so cool. He's like arching his foot. He's bending his ankle joint to come up and touch my hand. That's really, really neat. Okay, let's have you come. Let's try to get it set up for the camera really good. Because I don't know how good we are set up for the camera right now. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Come on. Come on. There you go. I think he's pretty well set up. Maybe another step forward though. Come on. One more step. There, good boy. Okay, are you ready? Just getting him used to rubbing his leg a lot. And if he moves around, I'm not gonna scold him or anything. Foot. Feet. I would say he's starting to get pretty comfortable with his feet. You ready? Foot. Wrong foot. Feet. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, now we're going to do more of that rope work that we have been working on. See him jump there. He says, "Oh, I'm a little bit nervous." And I'm not hitting him with it. I'm like tapping him with it. I'm tapping him with the rope. I don't want him to be fearful of it. He's doing good with this. I'll give him a break. I was watching one of the videos from like one of his first sessions. And even on day one, he was drooling. And I didn't realize that till I was going through and making some shorter versions of all these longer versions. But boy, oh boy, did he drool straight away. And now he's able to cope with all this without drooling. I feel pretty confident now his drooling was because of nerves. So I'm glad that he's feeling more comfortable and confident. Okay, so now again, we're just going to work on having this rope get tangled around his body, his legs, his belly. See, he's on his toe even while I'm doing this. Hopefully you can see that in the video. Now I wonder if I can drape this around his butt, what he will do. So let's get it opened up. I have a lasso. I've been using it on Frank to do that, just to help him. I didn't see that coming. He's been so relaxed. Okay. So let's let this fall off his butt. So we don't have to have it where we always accomplish the immediate goal right away. So I want to have this draped all the way around his butt, but I can work into it. So you're not quitting if you just change and you do something similar but not exact. Are you getting scared again? You're so funny, Stein. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Now he hears the kids. They just got off the bus and I heard kids yelling. So the more I can try to keep his head tilted towards me, the easier time I'm going to have keeping him with me. You're kind of scared about this rope right here, aren't you? I'm just moving it a little bit on his back. Okay, just helping him. Because you can see how he's kind of watching it. Do you see how his head is tilted towards his right side? He's kind of watching that rope over there. So we're just building up to comfort. Nothing has to be right away. Are you getting scared about that? Huh? Are you scared about the rope? I'm going to let it just fall off from his body now. Good boy. We're going to let him calm down now. He's not super tight, but I'm going to give him a minute and see if he starts to lick and chew. Because he was just elevated when he started to run off. His head is going down as we stand here. His eyes are getting heavy. They're blinking more. These are all things to watch for. If their eyes are wide open or their ears are pinned in one spot, that's a sign of anxiety. Look at how low his head is getting now. Right now, his lower lip is sticking out further than his bottom lip, which is a sign of relaxation. But it's not the only thing. There's multiple things that we're looking at. Remember, if I keep going and I keep giving him stress, I'm the cause. He's going to view it as I'm the cause of his stress. So I also want to be the cause of his relaxation. So I'm starting to make a video from a subscriber's request about health and care and how do you notice lameness? What do I do? You know, I was starting to think when I'm like, lameness, I haven't had any lame animals, but as I think about it, I'm like, oh, I have dealt with some things like worms or scratches or kissing spine, a locked bone that caused them to be able to stand up when they sleep, where that got stuck in that spot. So as I think about this, I keep thinking of more things that I have dealt with. So I'll be creating that video, so it'll be one to watch for upcoming here. I started on it today, but now I think I need to redo some of it because I keep thinking of more things. Still waiting for him to lick and chew. So if you yourself have any video requests, you can go ahead and put them in the comments and I'll work on those. There we go. There's that licking and chewing. I was starting to wonder if it was going to happen, but it is happening. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. Now remember, just because he licks and he chews one time does not mean that he's all done. He could lick and chew, and then after a little bit, lick and chew, and after a little bit longer, lick and chew, where he's still processing all the same lesson. Last time when I was working with him, I stood long enough for him to lick and chew, and then one of the boys went and caught Doc for me, and while I was hanging out in here with him, he blew out 2 times and licked and chewed more. So he was getting rid of the rest of those rabbits. So trigger stacking is when you're like, I'm scared of A, B, C. You know, so you see 1 rabbit and then you're like, okay, but maybe the threshold is 3 rabbits. Or maybe you have an animal and their threshold is 20 rabbits. But they see the scary thing and they take it in and they're okay. Well, when he ran away because he was scared, he had already reached his threshold for how many rabbits he can take in and absorb without becoming upset. And now I've already been in here with them for over 15 minutes. How does that happen, Stein, huh? And helping them increase their anxiety and helping them come down. That's how we're going to create a really balanced animal who can handle stress. As we do this, like let's just say that Stein's, the number of rabbits he can take in is 2. But as we do this and we help him build coping skills, the number of rabbits that he can take in will keep increasing with his age and confidence and experiences, where he knows that rabbits really aren't scary. And that's exactly what happens when you go past a rock for the 100th time and then all of a sudden they're scared of it. It's not really the rock. It could be a poor fitting saddle, or maybe they have some lameness that you didn't notice, or they already saw so many rabbits, or a grouse flushed in the woods, or they saw a bicycler, plastic bag. There's so many different things that they see and take in and they're okay with. So let's put this rope on him just a tad more, and then we will be done with his session already. Even though I haven't done as much as I wanted to with him, I am trying. He just let out a big breath. I am trying to keep it to see him moving. So I would say even though he licked and chewed, he's not 100% done letting out his nerves. So now I'm just letting this rope go up over his back. I'm going to let it spread out some. There's something right there that he starts to get scared from. But you really don't have to be scared, buddy. But you think you do, don't you? You think you have to be scared. So when I go and he's got to move, then I'm going too fast for him. And it might seem like the craziest thing because I'm not doing anything too intense. He's still scared about it. So it doesn't really matter what I think that he should be scared of. What matters is what he is scared of. So I'm going to make my my rope smaller, and then I'm going to go back. Now my rope is all coiled up. He's still flinching a little bit, but now he's willing to stand still. So if what you're doing is a little bit too nerve-wracking for him, you can just go back to something smaller, but then you're still working on the same thing, and you can keep building off from that. Okay, so he handled that well. Let's see if he'll walk with me now. Mr. Scaredy Cat. Oh, there he's licking and chewing again. Ha! I'll put in the rabbit, and then in the comments, guys, like how many rabbits do you think that your animal can take in before they get nervous and they have to respond? I'll give Stein a 2 for right now. I don't think his is very high yet, but he's definitely improving. He doesn't drool before he licks and chews now. He's not actually getting away from me when he pulls. Hey, buddy. Nose. We'll see if we go back to something he knows, if he can do better. Nose. Oh, he's thinking. Good boy. Nose. So he's still pretty stressed. Nose. You gotta touch it. Deet. There, he touched it. Okay, so what number do you think your horse, donkey, or mule are at for how many rabbits they can take in? Thanks for watching, and please hit that like and subscribe button. We're back with Doc here, and we're going to work on his feet. Is always going to be the first thing with him right now, or at least most of the time. You ready? Oh, and I got my hoof pick in my pocket. Ready? He's kind of leaning. Foot. No, it's fine. I got it. Foot. Good boy. Okay, so he's kind of pulling. I'm going to try to get him to relax and then give him his foot. Remember, he's a pushy donkey. So I'll often be working on getting him into his own space. Ready? Foot. That's honk, guys. She's the loudest. Foot. Good boy. Oh. You're kind of pulling more than I want you to be. He's not pulling a ton, but a tiny bit. Ready? Foot. Here I'm waiting. I want him to pick it up for me, and he did. Okay, I got in and out before he was pulling, but I want your face forward. Let's see if I can tighten this up a little bit. Keep it up higher on his nose. All right. Ready? Foot. When you first do it with the donkey, it's good to be facing the same direction, because remember, they can kick you with their back foot from here. I'm doing chicken arms. I want his face out front before I give him his pay. He's too pushy. There we go.
Do you want his head to turn you?
What?
Do you want his head to turn towards you? Or do you want it to stay in the same spot?
Paul's asking if I want his head to turn towards me. No, because he's so pushy. He's trying to demand it, and we have to help him not demand things. Okay, I'm going to get him square. There we go. Okay, guys, and you might think, oh my gosh, she spends so much time. See how he's leaning towards me? You spend so much time with the feet. And I do, and I will, and it will pay off. Because once he knows this foot, it won't be an obstacle anymore. Okay. There. You can keep your face out front. Okay, there, you left it there for a second. Ready? Foot. What are you doing? You are so silly. I'm not a scratching post. Foot. There, good boy. Oh, good. That was the perfect one to quit on. Get your head out front. Trying to get him there. Just for a second, he kind of gave in to being pushy, to not be pushy. All right. Now on to these back legs. Ready? Foot. Now he was on his toe on his other foot, and when I say ready, typically they switch how they're doing it. There. Oh, that was a really good one. So on that one, we're not going to keep doing it. We'll just do it one time. Remember, it doesn't matter as much how many sessions you do. What matters more is that you quit on a good one. So we brought him home in June, and the farrier is coming tomorrow. But the farrier will not be doing him yet. He's coming along nicely, but he's not quite ready for that. So we're going to just keep really getting his feet going good so that when it's time for the farrier to trim him, it's not an obstacle. I don't want the farrier to have a fight on his hands. Ready? Hey, hey. Ready? Foot. Oh, good boy. Now I have noticed more donkeys being hard with their front feet than with their back. Foot. There. That was better. Keep your head out front. Keep your head out front. There we go. Now donkeys really like their balance, so they're actually, I've been told that they're the hardest ones to train their feet. And I've trained 7, 8, 9, 10 donkeys to do their feet. Plus him is 11, and I got 7 more over there. This method works good. I wish I knew it right away when I started, because I didn't. Foot. So if they're stiff, give it back before they start to fight. I want his head out front. I don't want him demanding oats, because remember, he's a pushy donkey. Stop being pushy. There, he gave in a second. Now he gets his pay. You ready? Foot. My hand's just on it, and he's starting to lift it, and then I help guide it. There we go. So when our farrier comes for the first times to do their feet, sometimes he can use the farrier block, but so far it's been a little bit tricky for him to use the farrier block because they get nervous about things that are different. And so the number of things that are different when the farrier comes, the farrier is different, right? They don't know the farrier yet. The mounting block that they use, the smells. There's a lot of different when the farrier first comes out. So the more we can do to get them used to the movement around their feet, I'll be using a file pretty soon on his feet to get him used to that. And a mounting block. Sometimes we use the clippers to get him used to the noise. So there'll be a lot of things coming up with his feet to help him. So now we're going to work on backing up. 1, 2. Paul says he does it a lot better for me. 3, 4. He fights me too sometimes, Paul. He's so pushy. Yeah. And your arm's going to get tired, and you're just going to keep at it. Remember, the longer it takes them to get it, the longer of a break you want to give them. So now I'm going to give them a longer break to try to help this be good. Because he's pushy, I'm not going to give him as much of the Oochie Goochies right now. He's fine with all Oochie Goochies. I want him to start keeping in his own space. And it's harder to break a habit than it is to create a good habit. There we go. So if I'm consistent and every time he comes into my space, I put him back into his space, it will become a non-issue. Like maybe you'll need a refresher sometimes, but there, good boy. We're just going to be consistent with that and it'll go away. My daughter Hannah, she had a mammoth donkey who was so pushy. Every time I went in the pasture to clean it, he was just a space invader and it was annoying. And we brought him to the Thai clinic and did a 3-day clinic, waiting for that back foot. And after that, he was never pushy in the pasture anymore. It was amazing, the difference. When you're doing the Thai clinic, it's 3 days, 3 hours each day. He's coming into my space. We're gonna, there. I want another step because I want you out of my space. He's still kind of in my space. We're gonna back him up more and a little bit more there. He's licking and chewing. Oh, but he's coming back into my space. So sometimes, guys, a lesson that you're gonna do is just really boring, but it's really needed. There. You got to release with every step. Now I'm only releasing with the back steps. I'm not releasing for those front legs. Oh, look at him. He's coming into my space again. Another step in my space. Good. Oh, look at there he comes again. We'll just get him right back out. There you go. We want them to learn to be able to stand and hang out with us without invading, without getting prancy and antsy. And he has a young mind who just wants to play. There. So now I'm standing over here. We'll see. Here he comes back into my space again. There's one step. There's 2 steps. Here he comes again. We'll put him back out. Okay, so now I want him to stand with me. I don't want him to go off. Good boy. Okay, so he delayed before he came into my space. I'm going to come into his space and reward him. Just because he has to stay out of my bubble doesn't mean we're not going to give him love and all the Oochie Goochies, because they like Oochie Goochies. I'm going to go out of his space. Oh, and here he comes again. So we're just going to keep doing this. Repetition is key. Consistency. He has the buckle of his halter of the lead rope in his mouth now. He's chewing on the metal buckle. Get that out of your mouth. It's cute, but it won't be when you start chewing holes through your lead ropes. That won't be cute. He's doing much better than he was 5 minutes ago, staying out of my space. I like that. Oh, no. Okay, so Paul's asking if it'll transfer over to him. Not if you let him in your space. Okay? But if he can learn this lesson well with me, and he comes into your space and you are just like me, you're consistent with making him stay out of your space, then it won't take much to maintain it. But that's one thing with donkeys is they are so smart that if they think they can take an inch, they're going to take a mile.
Okay. So if he does it to me, will it make his training go backwards? Will he start?
Yeah. Yeah. So if I let somebody else work with a donkey or a horse or ride them and they don't do what I normally do, well, then I need to spend more time fixing whatever they did. Okay. Okay, now we're just going to see how light we can get them to back up. Look at that. I didn't squeeze it tight. So where I'm hanging on is above this knot here, between his chin and that knot, and I didn't even squeeze it all the way. There again. I just put my hand on there. That's good. That's good. Let's do one more for good measures, and then you're going to be all done. Are you starting to feel defiant? Okay, so the timer on my watch is going off, and that could be why he's reacting. There you go. I'm going to turn off the timer. And we're going to go for another good one because that one definitely was not good. So some days your lessons won't be very earth-shattering, but they're needed. That's what's going to create a really nice, well-balanced donkey. Yeah. I just feel like one more yet. There, that was so good. That was so good. Good job learning how to stay out of my space, buddy. It would be fun to get him one of those giant balls that they could push around that maybe have like a handle on it for them to grab. I think he's just so playful. He would probably love it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button.